The S.A.M is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Welcome back to the experience. Welcome back to the S.A.M experience. We just got into a heated debate about inflatable couches. On one side we have Sam, who is pro inflatable couch, and on the other side we have AJ, who is anti-inflatable couch. We will start the debate now.
All right. I'm not going to put that in my place. It's just not going to happen. You know, it's going to get gross. It's going to get popped. It's going to get all kinds of fucked up. It's just not a good investment.
And that was
why
the
they
opening.
ask you, AJ, how is it going to get gross? How is it going to get popped?
People
That
come through
sounds
my
like a you
place.
problem.
No. People are going to come into my place, and like somebody's going to be like, "Oh, I forgot I had a fork in my pocket," and then they sit down on it. The thing fucking pops, and they're like, "Oh man, that sucks to be you, AJ. Like that's really terrible." I'm like, "Yeah, it does. Now I don't have a couch." Think about
Wow,
it,
that's like a really good point, because our friends would have a fork in their pocket.
bro.
Alright,
These
some of our
people,
This is,
everybody's
actually-
a DJ.
yeah. Now, Max, what are your thoughts on like the validity of carrying a fork around in your pocket?
Of carrying what?
Carrying a fork around in your pocket.
Well, I'm kind of anti carrying a fork in my pocket because I'm what they call a linty boy. I have a lot of lint in my pockets, and I don't want to be eating my chicken, rice, and broccoli with a linty plastic fork.
True.
Because I feel like if you didn't have a plastic fork, like if it was a metal one, you would poke yourself too often. I feel like a plastic one, you could forget that you had it in your pocket.
Yeah, and metal forks also pop your inflatable couches too, so it's like a double
Yeah.
L.
Dude, I can't believe AJ won't even get a freaking inflatable couch, dude.
I know. There's so much you can do with an inflatable couch, man. Like, have you tried to solo carry a couch versus solo carrying an inflatable couch?
Sam, do you own an inflatable couch?
I wish to own one. I'm currently in a form of poverty where I can't even afford an inflatable couch.
Oof.
A rumor has it very shortly I will ascend from this form of poverty into my new form.
That's what you like to think, but once you graduate school, there's still poverty.
I mean, who knows, man? I was, I'm doing some searching, man. This job market's looking pretty good for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you going to make? Are you going to design the next Honey Pop?
I'm just gonna make the next Wordle, honestly, and then sell it to New York Times.
What? Can some... Okay, we're about to get into some, like, r/no work theory here. Can someone explain to me this app?
It's not
This
even
Wordo
an app.
app?
Or if it wasn't an app before, it might be an app now. Who knows? But it's just an online website you can go to, right? And I think it's a 5x6 square where you have to guess. So you get 6 chances to guess a 5-letter word, and it'll tell you for each letter if like the letter is the correct letter, if it's in the right spot or not. It won't tell you where the right spot is unless you get it in the right spot. But you just got 6 guesses to guess this 5-letter word, man.
And is it always just a 5-letter word?
Always a 5-letter word. A new word each day, and everybody gets the same word too. So what that means is you can like compete against your friends, basically, or compete against random people on the internet, and you just want to get it in as few guesses as possible.
How many 5-letter words are in the English dictionary?
At least 5, at least 6, honestly, because they've got 6 slots.
Huh. Dang. I feel so out of touch, like, nowadays. Like, I don't know about r/work. I don't know about this weird box typing game that everyone's playing.
That's how you know you kind of like skipped the, I guess, post college, post university, as you guys called it across the pond, rush, and you just jumped straight into the boomer phase of life.
Dude, it's pretty sweet. I started cutting my grass at 6 o'clock in the morning now.
Oh, wait, at 6 o'clock in the morning, hang on,
It's pretty boomer.
is that boomer? Do boomers cut their grass at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, why do you think they have headlights on their lawnmowers?
So, are you sure 6 o'clock in the morning is a good time to cut your grass, though?
Yeah.
Is that when your neighbors
Pull
do
out
it?
the leaf blower. Yeah.
Oh, do you like hook up like the subwoofer?
I just play Limp Bizkit and cut the grass.
Like with shears or like with what?
No, dude, with the lawnmower.
Like the industrial lawnmower?
Yeah, I actually put a turbocharger on it now, so it's a little loud.
You took off the muffler too, right? Just to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, man.
I'm just like Fast and Furious, but with lawn cutting. Actually, across the pond over here, kind of close to where I live, there's a competitive lawnmower racing scene.
Oh, and are you trying to get involved with that?
No, I have aftermarket parts on my lawnmower, so I can't compete.
So you do like oh, okay. So you do like the illegal leagues then.
Yeah, I only race for pink slips,
Oh,
lawnmower pink slip. It's actually just Lowe's receipts, but
Hey,
I
the
only race
currency
for
you
it.
gotta use, that's the currency, man.
Yeah. We meet every Tuesday in Farmer Joe's field, and we just rip it straight through the corn.
Oh shoot, and Farmer Joe is getting I guess he's getting something out of this too, right? His cornfield is just getting destroyed.
Nah, we haven't told Farmer Joe yet. He usually just about halfway through the night he shoots the shotgun in the air, and then that's when we flee.
Oh snap!
Yeah. Also, there's a big fucking lawnmower just went by. And AJ's gonna really have to suppress that noise because oh my god, it's
Yeah, I
crazy
heard
on
that
this.
too.
Wait, what happened?
You
A
didn't hear
giant
that
lawnmower just went by.
Oh, what, through my mic?
No.
No, on mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
tough scene.
Yeah, you're gonna have to suppress it.
It's fine.
So does anybody in your neighborhood like mow the lawn at a normal time? Is that like a
We're like a no sleep neighborhood.
okay? So like any time between like 8 a.m. and like 6 p.m. is off limits, but after that run wild.
Nah, it's like anytime you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay, like a free range neighborhood. I don't know what they would call that. Wild West.
Yeah,
Traditional.
it's a Wild West. We don't have an HOA, so it's just crazy.
You guys don't have an HOA. Okay, that's
You don't have an
actually
HOA.
yeah,
That is amazing. Max, grow crops on your front lawn.
Dude, people grow livestock in our neighborhood.
that is so fucking based. You
Yeah,
don't even
dude,
understand.
There's just goats and fucking ducks everywhere.
Dude, the United Kingdom is wild.
My dad's been feeding the birds, and there's hawks that have been coming around and just feasting off the birds that they've been feeding.
This is the
It's just
American dream.
It's just a wasteland over here. When they first like started developing my neighborhood, the developers all went belly up. And so like you could just buy a lot and just put whatever you wanted on there. So like the first 6 houses in the neighborhood are like identical basically. And then after that it's just hog wild. Just whatever you want, you can put it up.
It's powerful.
Yeah. But like during like peak coronavirus, one of our neighbors had an indoor basement party that I could hear the music in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then at 6 o'clock, somebody started cutting the grass.
Was that someone you? Just
No.
ask. Okay.
I was still in school at that point. So it wasn't Boomer Max yet. It was, what's the one before Boomer? Or after Boomer? Is it Millennial Max? No, wait, I'm a Zoomer. Because I'm 16.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Big zooming. Speaking of moving across the pond, somebody's moving across the pond, Sam.
Yeah, I heard about that. What's going on with that? My good friend
Who are we talking about?
AJ.
Me?
Yeah, we heard you were moving across the pond. Is this true?
Yeah, actually, as it turns out, I am. I got a job, and I thought to myself in my youth, naively, I might add, that I'd never move to England, and yet here I am, moving across the pond to England.
We already got him a Manchester United hoodie, and he's going to be a soccer hooligan.
No, Max, no, United, bro. I'm not a fucking bandwagoner. I want to be a fucking Crystal Palace fan.
Oh, man. I don't even know who they are.
Or what about
man,
Liverpool?
Is AJ going to stomp some fools out?
I had a question for you, Max. This is something that I've always wondered about, various British media and really just Britain in general. Why would they name a place Liverpool? It doesn't make any sense.
Have you ever eaten liver?
No.
Well, liver is usually consumed in about waist deep water. That's the prime time to eat liver.
Makes
Usually when
sense.
you're highly intoxicated off of your old Englishes, your 40-ounce old Englishes. So that's why they call it Liverpool.
That sounds pretty British.
Yeah. Except I couldn't come up with a British beer. I just said Old English because that's the only one I could think of. What is it? Guinness? Is Guinness?
No, that's Irish. Nice try, Max.
Oh shit.
You don't want to mess those two up. Ireland is not part of Britain.
Yeah. And also,
Uh-oh.
Britain
Oh.
is not part of the European Union either, right? Let's get that straight.
Yeah, Max. How has Brexit affected your daily life? I
My
want
commute's
specific details
my commute's longer now.
because you're
Dang.
further away from the EU.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's about it. It's just a normal day in the United Kingdom. It rains here. I think maybe one day we'll have sunlight.
Imagine.
Imagine. But let's talk about this move.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So how's it going? It was very all of a sudden. It was like, oh, I got the job. Oh, I got the apartment.
Well, here's the thing, right? So I have been applying to a lot of jobs. Okay. You know, you never really expect to get any specific one. You kind of just throw everything out there, see what happens.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I start like getting called back for this one, and then they go for one interview, and then they go for two interviews. I'm like, I've been down this road before. Like, I've had a bunch of interviews, but like they never went anywhere. So I was like, I don't really, I can't get like too into this one, but I was making progress. And then all of a sudden, I had a third interview, and they were like, wow, that was awesome. And then I felt really good after that, and I was like, wow, I think I might actually get this. And then last, or maybe 2 weeks ago now, I got basically called while I was like out at lunch, and they're like, "Hey, so we like want to hire you." I was like, "Actually, though."
Real shit.
So here's the other thing too. So it's not here where I live. It's kind of far, right? It's not
It's in
across the
England.
world, yeah, but it's in England. So you got to move, and they actually knew that when they were interviewing me. So me getting hired was contingent upon like me moving to England.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because then they're like, okay, so like you're gonna start at the end of the month, right? And I was like, I guess I could, but like I gotta figure all this stuff out. Like I gotta get a place to live, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, well, I'm sure you can figure that out. Good luck.
Sounds about right.
No, I kid. They were actually very accommodating. They offered to push back my start date if I wasn't able to get it together. I will
And
say
you were
though,
like, no, I must start.
well, to tell you the complete and honest truth, dude, I have just been waiting to move out for so long that like I am willing to put in the work to just get it done as soon as possible. I don't want to drag my feet on this.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So yeah, this it all came together quick, but like I was just ready to go. And as it turns out, there's a lot of work that goes into it. First of all, the housing market, or I guess the apartment market's pretty punished these days.
Especially since you're moving to a spot where everyone's trying to get.
Allegedly, yes, that's what I've
Yeah.
been told. I went through so much bullshit looking at apartments. Like there were places that look great, like brand new, awesome. They're like, all right, like okay, I got a whole list of bullshit that I'm gonna run through for you guys that I ran into when I was looking. All right,
hell yeah.
number one, the apartment place does not put their availability or their rent on the thing. So you're
Yeah.
looking through it and you're like on apartments.com or whatever, you find this place, you're like, oh, this looks great. It's 10 minutes from work. I should be like, I don't see why this wouldn't work. But then you go on their website and it says availability, call, price, call for information. I'm like, why? Like you're trying to get people to pay you, a lot of like thousands and thousands of dollars for your like crummy, like basic apartment. And
Mm-hmm.
and you think you're like better than people by putting it on there and like making them call. Like I don't understand that. I do not understand why you would do that. It just, and then every time you call these places, they're like either not there or they're. It's just so hard to get into contact with them sometimes. Crazy. That's
Yeah,
number
it's
one.
like that's typically what it's like living near Liverpool University.
I think that's true in a lot of places too, but it's just such a weird thing. It's like you'd think these places would be like so on top of it, but then all of a sudden like they're like, yeah, but we might be available. I don't know. We're like, what do you mean you don't know? Like I have to move. Um, so that pissed me the hell off. Number two, when I did find places that had the price, there was this one place that the price did not match what their offer was. So
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, oh yeah.
Like a
And-
lot or a little?
well, I got it. It was significant. It was like around 100 a month. So that's pretty significant.
Yeah, that's
and
a
then
lot.
and then I call them up and I'm like, so why are you lying about your rent like on your thing? And then the agent proceeds to give me this like I don't know, this explanation that I just didn't need to hear. Basically they took like 5 minutes to explain that like, oh yeah, well because it's short notice and blah 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 blah, we're basically just gonna charge you more money. Really? Like, and then
Short notice.
So yeah, and here's what happened. Well, because again, like normally when you're looking at apartments, you plan like a month or two in advance, right? You're like, most places that I looked at were available in like, because it's February now, they were mostly available in like the end of March, April, and May.
Yeah.
So like trying to find one that was like in my range, had everything I needed, and was available this month was pretty difficult. So
But you
then,
found
yeah.
one.
So when I'm looking at these ones, they basically told me, "Oh, well, our company just instituted a new system that like looks at the relative rates of apartments and rents around the area, and then it adjusts." I was like, "You're just telling me you're just paying more money because like whatever."
Did you tell them bullshit because none of the other companies have their shit posted online?
No, because they weren't the only one either.
Uh,
So, and dude, it's just every single one. You always ran into something like that where it'd be like, all right, this looks perfect, except for the fact that, oh, I don't know, like they're trying to like steal my money when I'm sleeping. I don't.
yeah, it's pretty typical.
Um, and then there was a couple places I looked at. There was one that was like perfect, like really reasonable rent and good location, but they didn't have the availability. And then I kept calling to like figure out like when they would be available, and I don't know. They just didn't have answers for me. It's like, how do you guys not know this stuff? Like, isn't it your job to like know what's available when and how much it's going to cost? Like, how can you just not provide that information easily to me? So that was
Hell yeah.
it was difficult because there's no like straightforward way to do it. You got to go on like some different websites. You got to go on like different like search engines. Eventually, though, I did find this place, and I am happy about it. Because it has everything I need. And it's on the first floor, which is pretty nice, so I don't have to like carry couches up the stairs.
Yeah, first floor is pretty dope.
My sister lives on like she used to live on like the 17th floor of a building.
Phew.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
Do they even have like an elevator big enough to put a couch in there?
They have, yeah, there's when places are, because it's in the middle of a city, so they have like freight elevators, but you have to make sure everything can fit into these,
Yeah.
right? So like we had to do all this research into finding a couch that can specifically fit within this elevator, because if it doesn't, or it can't get around the corners in the hallways, like too bad. Like you just there's nothing you can do.
You gotta set up like a pulley system outside your window.
Oh my god.
Sam, you know what always fits through the doorways?
Oh, I think I know.
Do you think you know? Or
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
The inflatable couch.
Inflatable couch, boys, we're out here.
Unreal.
This was all just one big scheme. I was trying to get to plug the inflatable couch again.
So that's not gonna happen. I appreciate it though.
Damn, pouring out for AJ.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll be fine.
Just
gotta
not
use
going
the
to be
freight
living in
elevator.
comfort.
I know.
Anyway, so I did find this place. It's about 50. Well, my commute's going to be like under 15 minutes, which is awesome. I'm
That is
so looking forward to that. I'm so looking forward to that. Because when I worked in the city, and it was just an internship, but when there was no traffic, it was still over an hour, and then when there was traffic, it was like over an hour and a half.
That hurts.
Oh,
That hurts
just-
my soul. Oh my
just
goodness.
just a nightmare. And then of course I had to go over a very famous bridge to cross into the city, and it
Oh,
cost
no.
right for this $15 one way.
One way.
One way. So that's
Holy
$15 a day
Having
just to
pay
get in.
to go to work.
I know, bro. I know it's so punished.
Well,
so
in
punished.
Liverpool, you won't have to worry about paying to go to work.
No, I will not. I will
So-
not.
Dude, 15 minutes is still a lot for England.
Yeah, but like I don't even have to get. I could take like back roads too, which is awesome. I don't
Yeah.
even have to get on like highways. The A18 or whatever they're called over there.
Oh, yeah. What do you got, Sam?
I was gonna ask, this internship. Was it a paid internship?
Yes, and actually I got paid really well, and I got overtime.
So can I ask how much you were getting paid at the internship? If that's all right.
I was getting paid 20 an hour.
Okay, all right. So you were at least, because if we were making like 13, 14 an hour, you were giving up multiple hours of pay each day just to cross this bridge. Like that would have been rough.
No, I was making 20 an hour, and then that's without, and then I, got overtime, which I usually did, a couple hours every week of overtime. So I like walked away from that summer like having more money than no one knew what to do with.
But you got to think, you also probably every day, your first hour and a half probably went to transport to get there.
Yeah, I did. I
that's
did have to
better.
wake up. I did have to wake up early, but like we didn't start until like 9, so it wasn't terrible. I didn't
Oh,
have to
okay,
get
that's
up,
so
like, that early.
much better.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a 9 to 5. So honestly, it was bad, but I just know it could have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah. Dude, shout out to the big city.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ's about to live in the second biggest city. Oh,
Wow, Max.
oh, we gotta
you-
blurp that.
You were doing so well, Max. What happened?
I was so good.
What
I'll
happened?
mark it down.
You paused before it too, man. You took like a deep breath and then you dropped
Well,
it.
I was looking at the link that AJ sent me, and it's got the location and the name, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna say it.
Unreal. Just
20
doxed
I'm
me,
gonna do it.
doxed you.
Minute bleep. I just wrote it down. Man, that was so sad. I was doing so good.
Anyway, so that's pretty much everything I could think of.
There's some pretty sweet spots around there. Pretty good eateries.
Actually, you know what I'm looking forward to the most?
Is it going to the school's creamery?
Max, again with this, bro. You're doxing yourself.
I just said the school's creamery.
I
I did say we went to Liverpool University.
Anyway, I think the best part, or the thing I'm looking forward to the most, is the fact that I'm living alone. I've never done
That'll
that
be cool.
before. I've lived. Let's see. Well, actually, at the beginning of freshman year, I didn't have a roommate. I had the place to myself, and then somebody moved in. Then sophomore year, I had 3 roommates. Junior year, I lived in a house. Senior year, I lived in a house. 5th year, I lived in an apartment, and then I moved back home after that.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be nice to live on your own.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to like sort of having my own level of like cleanliness and organization that like I don't have to contend with other people. I could just keep the kitchen, like if I don't feel like cleaning the kitchen, it's like all right, whatever, I'll just do it tomorrow. Or, I don't have to deal with like waking up in the morning and like somebody's like nasty like eggs pan is like sitting in the sink.
I have a gripe with leaving dishes in the sink.
Does it come with living with the caveman, Max?
No, it was way before that.
Hmm.
I think it's just like how I was raised.
Well,
It's like I can't leave anything in the sink, or I just like hyperventilate.
Well, I adhere to the ideology that if you can't be bothered to clean up after what you made, just don't cook in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like somebody, like especially if you live with other people, especially because like somebody else is gonna might have to use that after you. Like why would you cook and then just leave it there? Like
Yeah.
you're just saying fuck you to the next person.
And not only that, well, it's like completely normal to do that. Like if you live on your own, maybe living in like with your family or something to do. But like I don't want to expose other people to like a bunch of dishes in the sink. Like I feel like that reflects on me.
See, the thing is, you would think, but I lived with a guy who just didn't care. He just would do that shit, and we'd say, bro, like that's fucked up. Like literally stop doing that. We got to the point where we would take the dirty shit out of the sink, and dump it on his bed. Just
Hell
wet,
yeah.
covered in shit. We would just dump it on his bed.
And I
And
bet
say-
you he probably pushed it aside to sleep on his bed.
Pretty much, dude. The floor of his room was just covered in so much shit. But the worst part is that we had community stuff. So like technically some of it was ours too, but we were like, we're just not doing this anymore. Like I'm using this pan, it's mine now. Like don't touch it.
Oh no.
Like fuck you. It got so bad, bro. It got so bad.
One time I walked by the caveman and he had one of my dishes. Well, the only dishes in the house were mine at one point because the caveman's sister's boyfriend had all the dishes and he moved out, so there was no dishes left besides mine. at one point I walked by his room because the door was open, and one of my plates was on his floor. So as soon as he cleaned it, I just took all the plates and then I put them in a cardboard box in my bedroom. It's just like, no one's getting this anymore. No more plates.
Man,
You've
it's really
lost your plate
unfortunate when
privileges.
you're living with somebody, you have to revert to like tribal practices, man. I don't know.
You gotta hide your shit in
Yeah.
your own fucking room.
You gotta revert to like caveman.
I had like my room became like a multi-purpose room. It had like my cupboard, which had all of my dishes and stuff, and then I had like my pantry, which became my closet, which was all my snacks. The only thing I kept out in the kitchen area was silverware and my meals because I couldn't put those in like out in the open. I needed to have a refrigerator for them. And your boy's not going to run a mini fridge if he doesn't have to. So AJ, what are you going to put in this new place? Have you figured out what you want?
Well, I actually have a mini fridge, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna bring it with me, and I'll probably try to sell it to somebody in England.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't think I need it. It might just be extra electricity that I'm burning, you know.
Well, the place is going to have a refrigerator, right?
Yeah, of course.
I guess
So-
you could have like a mini fridge. Is this like a studio?
No, it's a regular one bedroom. It's
So
all right. So it's got, let's see, you walk in, it's got like the living room, and it's got it's got a quote unquote European style kitchen, as it turns out.
What's a European style kitchen?
Well, I don't know. It's in the
Just
UK,
a regular
so
kitchen.
yeah, it's just a
Oh.
regular kitchen. Yeah, I have my own bedroom. Oh, but the best part is I have my own washer and dryer
Oh, hell
in
yeah.
the unit, which was like something I thought I wouldn't care that much about, but when I started looking around, there was actually one place that I was considering that actually had better rent and like better availability and everything, but like they didn't have an in-unit washer and dryer, and it was slightly smaller. So I was like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
gonna
wanna-
affect your quality of life.
yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't even in the building. So like, I know Tom. He has to go outside in like two different
I'm gonna
buildings
write
to do
that
his laundry. No, it's fuck it. Who cares?
Damn.
But you know how Sam. You know how he's always complaining about his laundry situation.
That's true.
So I mean, it's just a no-brainer when it's in the unit. Plus, you don't have to deal with other people's gross shit. Like I did that back in college. There was no laundry on my floor freshman year, so I'd have to go up, like to the next floor or whatever. And there were always people taking my wet shit, out of the washer and just dumping it because they wanted to use the washer. Then you put it in a
Yep.
dryer, man. They just said, "Fuck it."
Dude, that's most of the places in Liverpool have in unit washer dryers.
That's how it's got to be, man.
Yeah, there's not a lot of laundromats in Liverpool.
That's how it's got to be.
It's pretty just like not even having to worry about like, oh shit, I left my clothes in the washer is gonna be nice.
Like I don't mind laundromats, but like there's just none. Like I'm not living in the middle of. I'm not living in the city proper, as they say. So like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to walk to one even if I was. So
Think about it like this though: you put them in the washing machine. You don't have to drive anywhere.
yeah, no, it's great. Great.
You just walk out of your. Is the washing machine in your bedroom kind of area, or is it like
It's
in
in-
the hallway?
It's in the hallway.
Hallway.
It's like across from the bathroom. Yeah.
Now is the bathroom in the bedroom,
No.
or are they
no,
separate?
Separate.
Okay. Did I ever tell you guys about one of the spots I was looking at in Liverpool that had they converted a bedroom into a half bathroom?
What?
It was like a 6x8 room that they took up like half the carpet to put tile, and then they had a shower and a toilet and a sink right next to the carpet, and you were supposed to put a bed in there. So you
Jesus.
had, people at near the university will do anything to get more people into that building. Like
mean,
they
I-
advertised it as a 2-bedroom or 2-bathroom, 4-bedroom, but like all the records from the city was like this is a 1-bathroom, 3-bedroom place.
Yo, we love that.
Yeah, they like illegally converted the garage into like a bedroom.
I lived in one of those. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great until it wasn't.
Shout out to the garage bedroom.
Dude, it was the like below ground because it was like a split level, so we had the garage bedroom and then the bathroom in the basement.
Oh hell yeah.
Was so gross. It was just like it wasn't like insulated. It was really cold all the time, and like it was just like I don't know. There's like spiders in it all the time. It was
Hell yeah.
you're just taking a dump, and you're like, "What's that moving across the ground?"
Did I ever tell you guys about the Cumgen?
Max, why would you? What is that? Why would you say that?
That's what everyone called it.
What your room, your house?
Yeah, the second house I lived in Liverpool, which was falling apart, and the only reason why we rented it was because it was so cheap and no one wanted to rent it. They put like a fake wall in the basement that wasn't even connected to the floor, and it was like this one long room that the people before used it as like their party room, and it was like super dark in there, and there was bugs everywhere. And when you went downstairs and you were like in the room without the lights on, it looked like you were in like a murder movie. And they called it the Cumgen because it was like, you know.
Yeah, I don't think you need to explain that one actually.
Yeah. It just looked like it was like out of one of those movies. Anyways, probably the best time sleeping down there ever. When it was cold outside, it was like hella cold there because it was the basement. Holy smokes. I had a heated blanket, a comforter, and a hoodie and sweatpants on, and I was timid. Everyone was not timid. What's the word? Frigid. I was frigid. She was nuts. And then Sam came along, and he was like, I like the Cumgen. I'm going to sleep in the Cumgen now.
Yeah.
Sam, you lived here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had to sleep on the floor.
Oh God.
You know how sad that is when Sam takes your twin bed, forces you to sleep on the floor.
I don't think it's sad when he does that.
Anyway, you know what I am trying to, spend a little cash on, a little extra.
What are you trying to spend on?
Trying to get a pull-out couch sofa so that people could sleep at my place if they need to.
That's pretty solid.
And then just like keep that with me because I think that's a pretty useful thing. And if I can't find one, I'm probably just gonna get a futon.
Futon.
I've slept on many futons. They're very useful.
Our boy Jerry used to sleep on a futon.
I get it. You know, they're not great for long-term use, but they're better than just sleeping on the side of a couch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our boy Jerry slept on that for like 8 years.
That's commitment.
Yeah, dude. Jerry does what he has to do.
I guess I respect it. I mean, again, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, you know what else I'm going to get? Oh, well, Max, don't you have a rice cooker?
I do have a rice cooker.
All right. How much is it going to run me? Because that's going to be one of the first things I buy.
I bought one that's for, like, not industrial use, but it can make up to 10 cups of uncooked rice. It's like $40 on Amazon.
Love that.
But I wouldn't recommend. It depends on how much rice are you cooking at a time.
I do love rice. I do plan on making a bunch of rice. That's going to be one of my staples.
If you just get like a $20 one that can make you 2 cups of uncooked rice at a time, which ends up being like 4 cups of cooked rice.
Right.
That's going to cost you like $20 on Amazon.
All right. I'd rather just have one that just like is good quality, you know what I mean? Because I really appreciate like perfectly cooked rice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely the one that I have is probably pretty good. It's $40. It's like a pressure cooker as well, so you can do other shit in it.
Oh, see, now that's even better. Oh, the one thing I already did by myself too is a toaster oven.
I was super anti-toaster oven for the longest time.
So was
and then we had one at school, and I used to make bagel bites in it all the time. Oh, man.
You converted, right?
I was quick to convert. It was almost instant.
Yeah, I live with a guy. He's a doctor now, but he basically showed me the way with the toaster oven. It was just a crummy little one that was at the house, but he was like, "Bro, you can make everything in here." I was like, "Teach me."
Yeah, way to flex on us. You're like, yeah, this doctor Tom, yeah, he's this toaster oven.
He's a cool guy. I just wanted to give him a shout out. Not flexing.
Shout out to toaster oven doctor guy.
Nah, he's not. He's not one of those doctors that's just like a piece of shit. He actually like had to work his ass off to get there. So
That's
stand up,
pretty cool.
stand up guy, stand up guy.
Dude, I used to every night I would have when I was prepping for my like big engineering test, I was eating like 24 pizza pockets. Not pizza pockets. What are they? The little ones, pizza rolls.
Pot hoc? Oh, yeah.
And I was cooking them in that bad boy. I would fill the tray up with as many pizza pockets as I could put on there. And then I would have a white Monster Energy and I would watch Futurama.
Dude. Well, number one, I love how reckless you know everyone gets right around like finals or like when there's a lot of
Yeah.
work to do. Like all like consideration for your physical health is out the window.
Oh yeah.
It's just you're just eating candy, you're staying up late, you're drinking coffee at like 1 a.m. Fuck it, who cares?
Hell yeah.
And number two, Futurama's come back, Max.
I have a hot take about Futurama coming
Go
back.
ahead, because I think you're gonna clash with my opinion. So go ahead.
And we're going to get to that right after this ad read.
Oh.
This week's episode of the S.A.M is brought to you by the number 2. Thank you. Let's get back to the experience. Welcome back to the S.A.M experience. Hopefully everyone had a good pee break and loved the ad read. Before we get started in this Futurama beef between me and AJ, I wanted to see if Sam would put his opinions in about Futurama coming back.
All right. So I actually have some fairly strong opinions on Futurama coming back. And so to kick it off, I have seen a total of like 3 Futurama episodes total.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty good show. Just never got around to watching the rest. And so my opinion is that I have no opinion.
Dang.
Yeah, so
We're
I mean,
all...
I guess I could say like it is. I think it's kind of weird, maybe, because didn't Futurama have like a definitive ending?
I'm pretty sure this is the second time it's been rebooted.
Yeah. And I heard like
This is more than the second, to be fair.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I heard they
But
gave it
continue.
like a pretty good send off last time it got, I guess, axed or it got rebooted for the final season. And they wanted to make it the final season or something, right?
Yeah, I think during the first time it ended, they weren't happy with it ending, so they like kind of left it open. Then the second time they knew it was ending, so they like definitely tried to close up some of the story. But then it came back and they left it on a cliffhanger this time. If I'm correct. I actually haven't seen I watched through the whole thing in like a summer maybe like 6 years ago, so I don't 100% remember, but yeah.
So, AJ, what's your opinion on it coming back?
So originally I saw it coming back and I was hyped because I love Futurama and like I think my younger self believed that it was not a great way to end it, and I don't like the cliffhanger and I want to see more. But I've also now had discussions with other people who have told me that it's probably going to be not as great and they might overdo it, like with the last season of Scrubs, for example. We're like, it's done, let it be done, you know? Move on.
Yeah, I'm a big ending guy, so I see what you're coming at.
So I'm conflicted. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I like all of Futurama. I know there's some people who are like, oh, it gets good after this. You know, it's good up to this point, and that is not good. But I like all of it. So I'm inclined to believe that this will be just as good.
I'm kind of under the, I guess, opinion that there's only so many stories you can tell that's surrounded by one character, you know? And, like, I know Futurama isn't really necessarily always about, like, the main, like, 6 or 7 characters that work for the professor.
Right.
But I feel like after, what has there been, like, 9 seasons of Futurama?
Something like that. And then there was those movies. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's probably a good place to end it. Like, that's like one thing with, like, superhero, like, comic books and stuff. there's only so much you can put a character through to where I'm just like, I'm no longer invested in that character.
Mm-hmm. Especially
So,
once
like,
they've like ended their storyline 2 times already.
Yeah.
yeah.
I get
So
that.
like, I was a little upset when I wasn't upset. I could care less if Futurama continued or not. But I was like, man, maybe they played this out a little bit too much. It's
So
like The Flash. You guys ever seen
what
the
happened
TV
with
show?
what happened with the flashbacks?
Um, once like they didn't do a very good job of power creep. He's like always like being the fastest man alive. You can't continuously write that as I'm trying to find the right word for it.
Well, because there's some scenarios where like he has to face something that's stronger than him, but that's hard to
Yeah.
do when you've already established that he's,
He's
the most fast person. To
yeah,
ever
he's
live.
like the most fast. And the first couple seasons where your villain is a guy who's faster than you.
Yeah, every single time.
Yeah, and then they started getting like even more wonky, like a guy who's smarter than you. And then you get like even more wonky, which is a guy who's faster than you, but he also has a lightsaber. But also you have a lightsaber. And it just continuously got worse and worse as the seasons went on. Because there's those CW DC shows, they have 24 episodes a season. And they're all an hour long. So eventually you get to the point of where, like, why are we even doing this anymore?
Yeah, and it's one thing if like you can plan that out from the beginning, but like they didn't even know they're gonna get like a second season, let alone 10 seasons, right? So they did not have all that planned out from the beginning. And planning a like, yeah, let's say you're getting 3 seasons. Planning a story arc that can cross 3 seasons is hard enough. I mean, it's just good.
Yeah, but the first 3 villains were I'm faster than you.
Yeah. But hey, I gotta say the first 3 seasons, or I only watched up to the first 2 seasons, I should say. I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, that's when you should end it, is after the first 2. Just be done.
Like the second season, they come back with the villain's faster than him again, but they were just doing some wacky fun stuff with the second season.
Yeah. And that's like also what the Arrow was, which was the Green Arrow series. It was like, how close can we get to jumping the shark? Okay, we jumped the shark. How about we jump the shark again? And that's what I feel like when you bring a TV show back, that's what you kind of do. It's like, okay, we kind of closed the loop. Like maybe if you had a TV show that got canceled and then they brought it back again, that's okay. But I feel like if Futurama had a definitive ending, maybe you should stick it with that definitive ending.
Yeah, and then even if it like got canceled but got brought back again, I think you can only do that like once or maybe twice, but you can't keep bringing the show back.
Yeah.
And people
Now
invested.
we could all be wrong. Maybe Futurama 3 is gonna be good.
Yeah, maybe it'll come out and crush it. But I think especially for like people who grew up and it was on TV or whatever, it's gonna be difficult to get them reinvested.
Dude, I have such a fond memory of this one episode of Futurama. I remember being at my grandma's house and like eating like chicken nuggets and meatballs because that's just like a combination that was always prevalent in that household.
It's a lot of protein.
Yeah. Oh, and fucking potato smiley faces. Shout out to potato smiley faces.
Those are an absolute
Yeah.
childhood classic.
And I remember drinking an orange Sunkiss. And Futurama came on it on the little 11-inch TV, which at the time was just massive. And it was the episode where Fry and Bender want the discount for gum at the gas station, so they enlist in the army. And then they get deployed to go like fight some spiders or some shit.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It's a
I don't.
it's a parody of what's it called? That one sci-fi
Was it War of the
franchise.
Worlds?
No, well, yeah, in a way it probably was, but it was also a big parody of what's that one where they go and they fight the spiders.
Oh, not Battlestar Galactica. Jerry's gonna fucking murder us because he loves this movie.
Yeah, but you know which one I'm talking about.
Sam, you gotta know this movie. It was the one where there was a Gary's mod for it, where we were soldiers and we had to fight giant insects.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
I'm doing my part. Starship Troopers.
That's it.
Starship Troopers. Dude, you guys want to hear some crazy Power Rangers lore about Starship Troopers?
There's
Yeah, what's up?
crazy Power Rangers lore about Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, there's crazy Power Rangers lore about Starship Troopers.
All right, let's hear it.
So, back in the day, they had a definitive end to Power Rangers, right? After they had Mighty Morphin went on for 3 seasons, and they basically the gist of Power Rangers is they take Japanese footage of the show and they cut in American teenagers, and that was what they did for the first 2 shows. Well, they started losing popularity around the second version of Power Rangers because there was another show made by the same guy where they had kids that were basically Power Rangers, but they called them Beetleborgs.
It's a worse name.
So
it's a lot worse name.
But Beetleborgs was fucking sick.
Oh, never mind that.
And we'll get into how cool that show was later. But after that, they did this another spin-off called Power Rangers Turbo, where they brought a kid in to be a Power Ranger. And it was dubbed the worst season of Power Rangers ever.
How bad was it, Max?
I've watched all of it, as an adult, and I didn't think it was that bad, but that's probably because I really liked one of the Rangers in the show, or 2 of the Rangers in the show.
Now,
But
how does the kid stack up in the show? Was the kid a definite detriment to the show?
The kid was like a Mary Sue.
Oh, that's tough.
He was a genius, because they needed to put him in the high school scenes. So it turned out he was a genius. And he just really didn't have very much compelling story. So they wrote him off in the final, which was supposed to be the final season of Power Rangers. Well, it went very well, and then they sold, that last season went very well. They sold it to, I think it was Disney at the time, because Disney owned the rights to Power Rangers for a little while. Actually twice. They sold it from Disney to Nickelodeon to Disney, and then I think back to Nickelodeon, and then back to the original creator. But anyways, this newer series was about being in space the whole time. It was called Lost Galaxy, and this was the first one that wasn't made by the original dude who brought it over to the US, and they used the Starship Troopers armor. The I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they borrowed it for the normal human soldiers in that TV show.
That is awesome.
Max, that is such obscure trivia.
Yeah. Well,
thank you.
Everyone kept on posting I'm doing my part, and as a kid who only seen Power Rangers, immediately I'm like, that's the Lost Galaxy soldiers. So I watched the series again, and I was like, they never say I'm doing my part. Where does this come in? And then, of course, Jerry had this obscure fact that was like, no, this is Starship Troopers.
Obscure fact. Oh, yeah, that's the obscure fact.
Well, yeah, because, let's be honest. What's more popular, Power Rangers or Starship Troopers?
True. I think the biggest surprise was that you didn't realize there were so many Power Ranger fans around, but we're all here.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in the Power Rangers.
Is there
my
Starship
God.
Troopers lore about that, too?
It's canon.
I think I'm trying to remember the exact reason why they're in, because it was a while, but it was towards the end of the original run. They came in. I'm pretty sure the villain had opened up a gate in time, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and they had to team up to help.
I want to be in the room when they cooked up the Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, dude.
Dude, that last series that was run by Chaim Saban was like considered one of the best seasons like ever. You guys have definitely seen this meme floating around. For sure.
Yeah,
It's pretty obscure, but I've definitely seen it.
There's no way. Yeah, that was pretty prominent. And when it first happened, because like as a kid, I only watched them from the VCR player.
Yeah.
So the VCR players. So I never had access to the whole show, but you can go on Netflix and watch every single episode of Power Rangers.
Amazing.
And I went through and I watched them all, getting ready for the classic Power Rangers live action movie of 2018, I think. And that scene came up and I shit my pants watching it.
This scene is the best. Max, were they as into the scene as they look in this picture?
Yeah, that's actually all American footage because they didn't have this in Japan.
Japan was missing out from this one scene right here, man. This is all the
dude. It's like it's completely different in Japan because like half the Power Rangers are like half of the Super Sentai, which is what they're called overseas, which is also they're one letter away from being something different. You know what I'm saying?
Max, come on. Nobody
I'm
was
just
thinking
saying.
that. Nobody was thinking that until you brought it up.
No, you were. No way you hear Super Sentai and you're not thinking of something else.
You're a maniac.
What were you thinking of, Max?
Well, you tell me, Sam. What were you thinking of?
Super Senpai, right? Right?
Hey.
Oh yeah, I guess you could.
What else were you thinking of, Max? Certainly not something. This is a children's show.
Well, no, actually, in Japan, it's not.
No comment.
There's a series. Well, they're either like super funny in Japan or they're like crazy, like adult, like people dying and shit. Like one of the Megazords has a huge boner.
That's not kosher for children.
Yeah, so they couldn't bring it over here
because of the boner.
Because of the huge boner.
Was it like an intentionally large and obvious?
Yeah,
I feel like
the Megazord
object.
The Megazord was train based. And yeah, here's a good picture of it. So that series was train based Megazords, and it was a funny one, and that's what the Megazord looks like.
Oh, that's not great.
Maybe
yeah, it's not very kosher. Yeah, so like the original one looks like this. Here, let me see if I can get it better. This is just like the toy version, so you're gonna have to bear with me. And the train descends down to penis level and it shoots out at people.
That's a major design flaw, or perhaps
No,
it was done.
It was supposed to be like a joke.
Oh God, those Japanese, man.
Yeah, like over there, Super Sentai is either a joke or it's serious. There's no like in between.
Max, one day you're gonna have to explain to me what makes Power Rangers so compelling. Because I don't know anything about it other than like just looking at the characters and watching funny fight scenes.
Well, like, why was it compelling in like when it first came out?
To you.
Oh, to me, it was like I didn't have friends growing up, so like seeing people on the TV that were friends but also superheroes like blew my mind.
Okay.
So that's like I think that's why I'm like so attached to the show. And I think a lot of the reason why it became so popular and when the show first came out was because it was like a lot of the people could relate, and it was one of the first real shows that I can think of that was like not all just five white kids, you know.
That's also true, yeah.
I mean, of course, it took 5 seasons to have a non-white leader, Which, by the way, the red Turbo Ranger, truly iconic. Shout out to that guy. But yeah, I think it was probably that. It was like seeing these people that could be friends and also like save the world was pretty dope. And it honestly, if you're that age, breaking down like the plot points is pretty easy. Because they're pretty basic plot points.
Right, they're not going to overcomplicate. We're not talking like Thrones level like complications and plotting and all that stuff.
Yeah. But like later on, like later series took a lot of risks and really made it fun. Like as I got older, like they took a little bit more risks, and it was like kind of like I grew up with it, you know? Like as they were growing up, I was growing up. Which I think maybe that's why I like it so much.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There was this one episode in Dino Thunder where they're watching TV because they just got a satellite TV, and it ends up they find a Japanese channel that literally is playing the Japanese version of Power Rangers for that series, and they masquerade it as the Japanese are making a show about the English Power Rangers. And they dub over it and everything. And it's probably one of the best episodes of Power Rangers, period. Just because of like how meta it is.
That's deep.
Anyways, that's the end of this Power Rangers segment.
Love it, man. Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So,
How did we start this off?
I think we started with Futurama and we got to Power Rangers.
Yeah. Sam, what do you want to talk about? What do you got going on?
what do we have going on?
What do you got going on?
All right. Well, I did recently did a big report on the economy of Turkey.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I could give you guys like a full like 20-minute presentation on the economy of Turkey, especially within the last 10 years. I can talk about Erdogan's rise to power, you know, the 2018 lira crisis. I can tell you guys a lot. But instead of talking about the Turkey political stability, we move on to a different, less exciting topic.
Okay.
That topic is
Why the Megazord got a boner, though.
I'm not sure. You know, some of our viewers are a little on the young side. I don't think that topic is appropriate for this.
What do you mean? I checked the demographics. None of our viewers are on the young side.
After I vote, we will have at least one viewer on the young side.
I think I'm the youngest viewer of the S.A.M
I
experience.
think so. Then Max, you can't talk about this, bro. You're too young.
At 16 years of age, I have to be the youngest viewer.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Dude, do you guys remember, like, back in the day when that came on, viewer discretion is advised? You got hella hyped as a kid?
Honestly,
Well,
not really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
down
know. Like, I think I got exposed to like some pretty. I remember some like really weird shit. Like I don't know, maybe in like CSI or something, which was always like not really graphic, but like you know what I mean. Kind of like you'd see like dead bodies and blood and like fucked up stuff. But that's not like meant to like shock you. But like when you're young and you just see that kind of stuff, it's just like all right, now I know what's up.
Damn.
Like, I remember this one scene where like some guy got like choked out. Like there was like a recreation and he had like a bag put over his head or something, and like it was like really graphic, like watching him getting like choked to death. And I was like, wow, that was really fucked up. And that kind of sat with me for a while, but then eventually like it kind of just fades away, and then you're like, all right. So.
Damn.
I don't think I ever got excited to see viewer discretion advised.
For me, I felt like it just came up in a lot of different contexts. Like, it didn't really have much meaning to me. It came on just a lot.
I was very like policed as a kid, so like being able to sneak away and see like something that wasn't like on like it wasn't a cartoon that said viewer discretion advised, I was in.
And I remember when I was younger, my mom wanted to police us a lot more. But so at first I think the rule was that we had to ask before we watched a TV show. But then we would
Uh-huh.
specifically ask her every single TV show on we'd be on the PBS channel. We'd be like, hey mom, can we watch this? Hey mom, can we watch this? Hey mom, can we watch this? So eventually she was just like, all right, you guys do whatever you want. We were good kids, so we weren't looking up stuff that was inappropriate. Obviously, we didn't even have access to those channels. But I think I just find it funny that we just harassed our mom into letting us do whatever.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. Hey mom, can I watch Arthur? Hey mom, can I watch Cyber Chase? Hey mom, can I watch this Juicy Juice commercial?
Amazing.
But
Dude, man, I feel so out of it because I guess I've never really talked to anybody about this, about viewer discretion is advised. Because to me that was like oh shit, I'm getting my nicotine fix.
It was a game changer, man, when it came on.
yeah, they go all the big boy now.
I remember watching like Toonami at 2 volume in my room, sitting basically on top of the TV because I didn't want anyone to know that I was watching well, not just watching anime, but watching violent cartoons.
Man, rebellious childhood there,
Damn.
Max.
What a time to be alive. Do you guys watch Toonami as a kid?
Yeah.
No.
Not like
No,
most of the
AJ?
late night stuff, but just stuff stuff like Naruto when it came on.
Oh yeah, I'm hella watching Naruto.
Well, Toonami was Cartoon Network's. It was part of Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was their anime hour.
Yeah, see, that was the channel we weren't allowed to watch.
Cartoon
You weren't allowed to watch
Network or
Cartoon Network?
Toonami?
No. Neither.
Dang.
Oh man.
Yeah. I guess my mom really bought into the whole cartoons that are dumb and have that benign,
Yeah.
stupid, almost violence to them are gonna screw up your kids. So
My
they
mom
were just
bought
never
into
allowed
that
to watch
too. I remember when I was in first grade, dude. Oh my goodness. I ended up crying because they put on SpongeBob for the class, and my mom was like, well, "You can't watch SpongeBob," and so
them. No.
yeah, so they had to send me out after that, and then the next day my mom was like, "All right, Sam, you can watch SpongeBob, bro." Yeah,
Damn, that's so fucked up.
And okay,
Oh my
and I think I was
God.
just a really nervous kid because it wouldn't have been a big deal. I could have just watched it. Honestly, my mom really wouldn't have cared.
Damn. She really just said, "I don't want you to watch TV at school."
Well, no, so she didn't know. It was only at home. Well, she was like, yeah, saying don't watch it stuff, 'cause, it'll make you dumb or whatever.
Do you think it made you dumb?
Yes.
That's a loaded question.
Max, does watching SpongeBob make you any smarter?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think watching anything makes you smarter, unless you're watching a documentary.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched. Well, I don't know. I feel like anything that's pure entertainment can make you smarter.
I don't think that's true because so back when I was a freshman and I was an engineer, the intro to engineering professor was a pretty interesting guy. I think he came to the U.S. from, I have no idea where. He might have been Vietnamese. But anyway, he basically learned the English language just by watching Disney movies.
Oh.
So he learned and The Simpsons.
Oh,
So
hell
he
yeah.
said he would just watch them over and over again and then go to the local McDonald's and try to order food. And that's how he became comfortable as an American. So
Okay.
I you got to think of it obviously if it's just you're just watching it for entertainment, fine. But if you're not a native English speaker, you could learn a lot from just watching some stupid English cartoon because it gives you a good idea of how people talk.
Yeah, that's one of the things they always say when you're like taking any kind of language class. So like, you just gotta immerse yourself. You know, immerse yourself in the people, but also immerse yourself in the media. Listen to the TV in a different language. Try to read in a different language if you can, man. And it's alright if you can't pick out everything. You just gotta immerse yourself.
Yeah, my Spanish teacher always would say, "Hey, you gotta watch Spanish TV," and I was like, "I don't gotta do nothing. I just need this grade, dog."
Yeah.
I can already order chips and queso at the Mexican restaurant.
Dude, that's
Get
the
out my
toughest.
face, man.
That's the toughest part about like young age like Spanish like classes is because it's so much easier to learn and like so much easier to like pick up on it when you have a reason to care. But like when you're just like a stupid like kid, you're like, why do I ever need this? Like ever. Like I've already got I gotta learn fucking like multiplication. Why do I have to learn like conjugation for fucking, verbs and shit? Like screw that.
It's pretty late into the podcast, so I will willingly say this. My Spanish teacher was like, "Hey, what if you're in an elevator with two fine mamacitas and they're talking in Spanish to you? Or they're talking in Spanish with each other. Wouldn't you want to know what they're saying about you?"
No.
And I was like, I thought about it for a really long time, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, teach, no, because if I don't know, I can just pretend like they're saying good things about me. Because I know they're not saying good things about me. Dude, shout out to Spanish.
Yeah. No shout out to
Spanish calculus?
Japanese, though, dude.
Spanish calculus.
Disclaimer, y'all. I took one semester of Japanese because it was a 4-credit class and all the Spanish classes were 3 credits and I needed 4 credits of a language. Yeah, don't take Japanese.
Yeah, I imagine Japanese is really hard.
Yeah, on top of like having like 3 separate alphabets, man. I really didn't. So when I took 4 years of Spanish, I took up the AP Spanish too. I never actually took the AP test and all that. But because no, that's a whole other story. My AP year was just a weird year. But talk about Japanese. The way they express ideas in Japan, it's different. All right. So Max, for example, if you were hungry, how would you say you were hungry in English?
Dog, I'm hungry as fuck.
Exactly. Japan, you wouldn't say that, right? In Japanese, you would basically say like stomach empty. Like the most literal translation would be like stomach. Like so many ideas don't translate 1-to-1 from like English to Japanese or vice versa, and they do say with a language like Spanish. It is incredible how different languages can be. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like how we think Spanish is backwards, but Spanish thinks we're backwards.
Oh, but even so, there's a lot of ideas with Spanish that translate to English and English that translate to Spanish. But
yeah,
it just really doesn't work out when you go to some of these other languages.
Yeah, language is funky.
Indeed.
Do you think like any of us will be able to speak English eventually?
Probably. I think one of us will manage it at least, maybe 2.
I think you and AJ can definitely figure it out.
No, senor.
Damn, no senor. Well, boys, what are you thinking? Do you think we should figure out what we learned today, or you think we should talk about one more thing?
I don't have much else to talk about, to be honest.
Well, you got another topic for us there.
Oh yeah, Max, what do you got, man?
Oh, I don't have anything. I was just gonna pull something out of my butt. Really, I have not done much since the last time we've talked.
Yeah, I've been trying to crunch out some stuff for school.
Well, actually, how about we end it on that? Sam, what's the due date? When's your degree baby gonna pop out?
Oh, I can't believe we've done this. I just had. All right, now I gotta talk. I gotta tell a story, bro. I had this great internship. I was talking with the person behind it, and they're basically like, "Oh yeah, dude, we got a ton of spots, and you're taking." So I'm taking this program in English called COBOL, which is what a lot of like financial institutions use, or financial institution related companies use for their programs, just cause. And because I've been going through this class, which this particular professor, they're basically like, "Bro, apply to this internship, wink wink." This boy
Okay.
was starting me out at 67,000, and with a lot of like really good benefits and all that. And you know what happened, bro?
67,000
Yeah,
as an intern?
as an intern. Like in the 4 to 5 months training period, you start off at 67,000
A year.
a year.
Holy shit.
That's you know.
And they were basically like, yeah, we know you guys probably aren't gonna like make any real contributions to the company until like months after your training period is over. But you know, it's whatever, bro. And I was basically like, oh shoot. And they said, hey, you graduate in May, right? And I was like, nah, I gotta take one summer class, so I graduate in June. And you know what they said?
What'd they say?
Ooh,
No.
yeah. So yeah, that's the long way to say I graduate in June, dude. But I was, I don't know, man. I'm that bad, bro.
Sam, you need a hug, man.
I need a hug, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, if I wasn't across the pond, I'd give you a hug right now, Sam.
But I'm still
Damn.
though, dude. I'm gonna find another. They even said they're basically like, hey, here's their email. You know, keep in contact. Maybe if we get extra budget, we could bring you on throughout the year or something. So I'll try to hop on.
That's pretty
that,
good.
But dang.
Sam, the amount of times I've heard that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, AJ, what you learned
Damn.
today, bro?
Dude, I learned that Starship Troopers and Power Rangers Super Sentai have deep running lore and crossovers that bridge the two series.
Hell yeah.
So,
Sam, what'd you learn today?
what I learned today, I learned that AJ and
That's me.
actually, really what I learned was Max, you told me today that Ireland was a part of the United Kingdom, and I've been told by many people that it wasn't part of the United Kingdom, but you set me straight.
Hell yeah. Love setting people straight. I learned today that me and AJ have to book a ticket over across the pond so we can give Sam a hug.
See?
Hugs are being deployed.
Deploying hugs in 3, 2, 1.